Hey, you. Yes, you. The one who lets your dog sleep on the bed, who buys them birthday cakes, who talks to them like they understand every single word. You love your dog more than most people love other people, and that is a beautiful thing. But here is something that might stop you cold. Right now, sitting in your kitchen, on your counter, in your pantry, there are foods that could seriously harm or even kill your beloved dog. Not exotic poisons, not rare chemicals, everyday foods. Things you eat without a second thought, things you might even share with your pup as a treat, believing you are showing them love. The truth is, what is perfectly safe for us can be devastating for dogs. So before you toss another snack their way, you need to watch this entire video. What you learn here could genuinely save your dog's life. Let's start with one of the most well-known yet still incredibly dangerous foods for dogs: chocolate. Many owners know it's harmful, but do you truly understand why? Chocolate contains two toxic compounds, theobromine and caffeine. While humans metabolize these substances quickly, dogs process them extremely slowly, allowing toxic levels to build up in their system. Not all chocolate carries the same risk. Dark chocolate and baking chocolate are the most dangerous, containing the highest concentrations of theobromine. Milk chocolate, while lower in theobromine, becomes seriously harmful when consumed in larger quantities, especially for smaller dogs. Even a small amount can trigger alarming symptoms including vomiting, diarrhea, excessive thirst, rapid breathing, muscle tremors, seizures, and in severe cases, death. The size of your dog matters too. A few squares that seem harmless to a large breed could be absolutely fatal to a smaller one. Never take chances with chocolate. Now, moving on from chocolate, let's talk about another surprisingly dangerous food that many dog owners overlook entirely: grapes and raisins. You might think of these as harmless, healthy snacks, but for dogs, they can be absolutely deadly. What makes this even more alarming is that scientists still do not fully understand exactly which compound in grapes and raisins causes the toxicity. That unknown factor makes this threat completely unpredictable and incredibly difficult to manage. There is no established, safe amount. Even a small handful of grapes or a tiny box of raisins can trigger sudden severe kidney failure in dogs. Some dogs have reacted to just one or two grapes. Symptoms include vomiting, lethargy, loss of appetite, and decreased urination. Without immediate veterinary treatment, kidney failure can become fatal within 48 to 72 hours. Please, keep grapes and raisins completely away from your pets at all times. Now let's talk about a danger that's hiding in plain sight inside your pantry. Xylitol is a sugar substitute commonly found in sugar-free gum, candies, certain peanut butter brands, and baked goods. It might be harmless to humans, but for dogs, it's absolutely deadly. When a dog consumes xylitol, their body triggers a rapid and massive release of insulin. This sudden spike causes blood sugar levels to drop dangerously low, a condition known as hypoglycemia. Symptoms include weakness, disorientation, collapse, and seizures, and they can appear within just 30 minutes of ingestion. But it doesn't stop there. Xylitol can also cause severe liver failure in dogs, which can be fatal even with veterinary treatment. The scariest part is how easy it is to accidentally expose your dog. Always read ingredient labels carefully before sharing any human food with your furry friend. Never assume something is safe. Now, let's talk about something found in almost every meal we cook: onions and garlic. These kitchen staples are incredibly toxic to dogs in every single form, whether raw, cooked, powdered, or dehydrated. Many owners don't realize that even a small amount of onion powder in a sauce or seasoning can be harmful. Both onions and garlic contain compounds called thiosulfates, which dogs cannot properly process. These compounds attack and destroy red blood cells, leading to a serious condition called hemolytic anemia, where the body simply cannot carry enough oxygen. What makes this even more dangerous is that garlic is actually 5 times more potent than onions. And here's the truly tricky part. Symptoms like weakness, pale gums, and lethargy may not appear for several days after ingestion. By the time you notice something is wrong, significant damage may have already occurred inside your dog's body. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you: macadamia nuts. These popular snacks are highly toxic to dogs, and the frightening part is that even a very small amount can cause serious harm. Just a few nuts can trigger alarming symptoms in your dog within 12 hours of ingestion. The signs to watch for include muscle weakness, vomiting, tremors, and hyperthermia, which means a dangerous rise in body temperature. Your dog may struggle to walk or even stand properly. While fatalities from macadamia nuts are relatively rare, the suffering your dog experiences is genuinely severe and deeply distressing to witness. What makes this especially concerning is where these nuts tend to hide. Macadamia nuts are commonly found in cookies, trail mixes, and chocolate-covered snack packs, foods that are frequently left on countertops or in bags within easy reach of a curious dog. Always check those ingredient labels carefully. Now, let's talk about avocados, a food many of us consider incredibly healthy for ourselves, but one that carries real risks for our dogs. Avocados contain a natural toxin called persin, and here's what makes it especially concerning. Persin is not just in the fruit itself. It's found in the leaves, the seed, the bark, and the skin as well. So the entire avocado plant poses a threat. When dogs ingest persin, it can cause vomiting, diarrhea, and in more serious cases, fluid accumulation around the heart, which can lead to significant cardiac complications. But the danger doesn't stop there. That large, smooth avocado pit is a serious choking hazard on its own. If your dog manages to swallow it, it can become lodged in the digestive tract, causing a dangerous intestinal blockage that often requires emergency surgery to resolve. So keep avocados completely out of your dog's reach. Moving on to something many people overlook. Alcohol is extremely dangerous for dogs, even in the tiniest amounts. Dogs are far more sensitive to alcohol than humans because their bodies simply cannot process it the way ours can. Even a small sip can trigger serious consequences, including vomiting, disorientation, breathing difficulties, dangerously low blood sugar, and in severe cases, death. The smaller the dog, the greater the risk. What might seem like a harmless drop to us can be absolutely devastating to them. And here is something many owners do not realize. Alcohol is not only found in drinks. It also hides in certain foods like rum cake, tiramisu, and fermented fruits. These items might seem like innocent treats, but sharing them with your dog could land you both in an emergency vet visit. Always keep alcoholic beverages and alcohol-containing foods completely out of your dog's reach. Now, let's talk about something many dog owners get wrong, thinking cooked bones are a safe, natural treat. The truth is, cooked bones become brittle and can splinter into sharp fragments when chewed. These splinters can puncture your dog's mouth, throat, stomach, or intestines, causing internal bleeding, serious blockages, and in severe cases, death. Even large bones are not safe once they have been cooked, so please never offer them to your dog. And while we are on the topic of dangerous indulgences, let's address fatty foods like bacon, sausage, and fried items. Many owners treat their dogs to these as a special reward without realizing the serious risk involved. High-fat foods can trigger pancreatitis, a painful and potentially life-threatening inflammation of the pancreas. Dogs suffering from pancreatitis experience severe abdominal pain, vomiting, and lethargy. This condition is frequently overlooked because owners simply do not connect the fatty meal to the symptoms that follow. Now, let's talk about caffeine, something most of us consume every single day without a second thought. Coffee, tea, energy drinks, and even certain medications all contain caffeine, and every single one of them poses a serious threat to your dog. When a dog ingests caffeine, it directly attacks their nervous system and heart. Unlike humans who can process caffeine relatively well, dogs are extremely sensitive to its effects. You might notice rapid breathing, restlessness, muscle tremors, and fits shortly after ingestion. In severe cases, caffeine poisoning can be fatal. Here is what makes this particularly alarming. You do not need to leave a full cup of coffee unattended for danger to occur. Something as simple as used coffee grounds sitting in your trash or a discarded tea bag left on the counter can be more than enough to cause serious harm to a smaller dog. Always dispose of these items safely and immediately. Another spice hiding in your kitchen that poses a serious threat is nutmeg. It contains a compound called myristicin, which is toxic to dogs even in small amounts. If your dog ingests nutmeg, you might notice frightening symptoms including hallucinations, increased heart rate, seizures, and severe disorientation. What looks like a harmless pinch of spice to us can send a dog into a dangerous neurological episode. Now let's talk about raw yeast dough, and this one is a double threat. If a dog gets into unbaked bread dough, the yeast continues to expand inside their warm stomach, causing painful bloating and potentially life-threatening gastric distension. But that is not all. As the dough ferments, it produces alcohol, which then gets absorbed directly into your dog's bloodstream. So you are dealing with both physical expansion and alcohol poisoning simultaneously. Never leave rising dough anywhere your dog can reach it. Fruit seeds and pits are another serious concern for dog owners. Apple seeds, along with pits from cherries, peaches, and plums, contain cyanide compounds that are genuinely toxic to dogs. Even small amounts can interfere with oxygen transport in their bloodstream, causing serious harm. Tomatoes might seem harmless, but the green parts of the tomato plant, including the stems, leaves, and unripe fruit, contain solanine, a compound that is harmful to dogs. Ripe tomatoes in very small amounts are generally less dangerous, but the plant itself should always be kept well out of reach. Finally, salt and salty snack foods like chips, pretzels, and popcorn pose a real threat. Excessive salt intake leads to sodium-ion poisoning in dogs, causing symptoms including excessive thirst, tremors, seizures, and in severe cases, death. Always keep salty snacks far away from your furry friend. And there you have it. Loving our dogs means being truly vigilant about what goes into their mouths. From chocolate and grapes to xylitol, onions, macadamia nuts, alcohol, caffeine, and so many more, the dangers are real, and they are hiding in plain sight inside our own homes every single day. The good news is that prevention is simple. Keep these foods completely out of reach. Store them securely and make sure every family member and guest in your home understands what dogs absolutely cannot eat. And if you ever suspect your dog has swallowed any of these dangerous foods, do not wait. Contact your veterinarian immediately because every single minute counts. Your dog trusts you completely with their life, so let us honor that trust. If this video helped you, please give it a like, share it with every dog owner you know, and subscribe so we can keep protecting dogs together.